A lot of really good plays by these guys and good coordination as well. And here the bans come across. Vladimir still dropped away from Arthelon. He had been playing that at the end of the regular season. And of course, Westrice colleague gets banned out. No surprise there. Still Rumble Ivermectin taken away from MegaZero. So TBD not really changing their ban plans much. This time around, compLexity still going to get rid of Gragas. Or go back to getting rid of Gragas.
Yeah.
They didn't in game 2, of course.
They are going to take away Elise as well. So another change here. We've seen both of the teams, after a loss, they make completely different pick ban phase.
Yeah.
Making use of both the bans and the fact that they are first pick, taking away multiple options from their opponents.
Yeah, and Lautemortis has been playing a lot of Elise in the MCS, especially recently, so I like stealing away from Arthelon, and I like giving it to Lautemortis here, of course. He's already got his jungler picked up, so the Nasus like sort of steal at this point that's being hovered over by TBD. Doesn't even mean that much, but that does allow the Zyra to come through. That was picked up by compLexity in game 1. That was banned by them in game 2. That's been given back, so now that limits some of the dive options available here.
And she's such a strong character against TBD's style. Talked about them loving to go for those dives. Amumu is still available though. Is very similar. His ultimate is almost as big as Zyra's ultimate there. And compLexity, like you said, did you say Lautemortis' favorite jungle champion?
He's been playing it a lot recently.
Because right now, he said that's actually his favorite one right now. And it's sort of uncharacteristic for Lautemortis because traditionally he's been pure tank coming from the jungle, whereas Elise, as we just saw Arthelon show, packs a very strong punch.
Well, in this year, we've seen the growth of a lot of junglers here. Diagon played Elise both games against CLG in his wins, and he was the original, I'm a big tank jungler, I play Maokai and Nautilus all the time. Smithy's been going crazy this split, right? It's Vulcan's most improved players, by what they've been saying about their own teammate here. And so you've seen a lot of growth from, players in general, but especially junglers kind of coming out, finding more champions to play. Chuuper going back on a safe AD carry, going back onto the Tristana. Thresh coming through as well, so they've got a couple of good tools to deal with all this.
They've been comboing Chuuper with an AD carry with a jump and the Thresh Lantern over and over here. Feel like they're just making him as safe as possible. And then they always have that sort of end game catch where, yes, I have a Tristana, and we've got the range, the attack speed, and the damage.
So now it's TBD having to show one of their solo lanes here because they've got a clear jungler. I guess there's a chance it's still Naz's top lane, but not really a Westrice or Arthelon champion. But they're looking at the rest of their duo lane here, the Zyra Caitlyn combo, very, very strong lane, good at pulling people out. The Nasus jungler, they've got to show one of their solos. Are they going to put in? Oh, interesting. So it's going to be a Zyra mage.
Probably it'll be Arthelon. Not sure which lane Arthelon will go to.
Yeah,
but that's definitely an Arthelon champion, not a Westrice champion. Yeah. Westrice doesn't really have defense mode. No counter initiate for him. It's all offense.
Yeah. Well, you can use the Stranglethorns forward. You can Chinook it and die for more burst damage.
CLG used Stranglethorns forward, and it did not work out for them.
Did not. All right. Well, compLexity got to now pick their counter lane. They know it's going to be, well, I pretty much assume at this point it's solo lane Zyra. I don't really think carry Nami's a thing. So they're going to give a matchup one way, but they've also got to blind pick the other one here and give Westrice the option to counter pick. Now, last time around, when Westrice counter picked with a talent, it didn't actually work out in game 1, and so they might not have to care too much. But here's the interesting option is now what do they go for? They've got to pick for Probably and for MegaZero. He's played a bunch of COL. He used it a bunch back when he joined compLexity in the LCS. He's used it a bunch in the MCS here as well. It's a good pick for him.
And there's a lot of area effect so far on TBD. They've got 2 semi-supports here, along with the Nasus already, who's very slow and very short-ranged. So it's pretty much a clump team fighting comp here for TBD, whereas compLexity are a little bit more single-target oriented, both offensively and defensively. Their damage from Elise is single target, and the defense from COL is single target. So they're definitely looking more towards the skirmishes. Whereas TBD, which is probably going to be a Lee Sin Westrice, like we called out may have been the case earlier, is definitely looking for those group picks.
And what's interesting actually is I'm surprised we didn't see, I like the Causes pick a lot as well, but I'm surprised we didn't see COL more from Probably, because when you're fighting a team of all assassins who's trying to kill one guy really fast, intervention! And both literally and figuratively.
That's the thing about locking in a last pick Kha'Zix here after they already have COL. If he goes to jump for someone, and they get intervention, he gets no reset.
Yeah.
So he'll have to use his ulti to try and escape. But as we saw before, compLexity are not shy about buying pink wards to kill off invisible champions.
No, not at all.
So if Westrice doesn't get his reset on the jump to get out, even if he does pop his ulti, there's a high chance that MeyeA or anyone else on compLexity are going to be able to drop that vision.
And as you mentioned, the area of effect based team for TBD, right? An AP Zyra, the area of effect damage, that does help Westrice a whole bunch. If everyone's low, he can keep leaping around. So pretty well put together comp by TBD. I really personally like this probably Kayle pick, and they're going to rely on kind of the carry potential here.
The other thing about Kha'Zix is you want to be able to spread out your opponents. So Gragas is a great champion to use with that. That's one of the reasons they banned Gragas out against Arthelon over and over again, because they know they like to run this combo. But Zyra will do a similar thing. You don't get the damage by knocking them apart with your ultimate, but it's a zoning tool. The giant Stranglethorns in the middle is going to make your opponents spread out, and then you can get that isolation damage that is very important to Kha'Zix.
Yeah, and he gets the damage on the application anyways. Even if they don't get knocked up, it's like, well, you're all low and you spread out for me, or you get crowd controlled. Win-win, wonderful. So pretty cool comp here for TBD. I like it a lot. I like complexities too. I think these are going to be really interesting teams coming through. It'll be a fun match. But guys, it is game 3 here of our second semifinal. The winner moves on to face Cognitive Gaming. The crowd here is awesome. Every one of you is amazing.
Except that guy.
Yeah, you? I don't like you. Now everyone's wondering, did they point at me? I was pointing at the screen. I don't know. Who's it going to be? One of you's going to feel really sad, though.
CLM.
COL. They're shouting COL. CLM is just like... That's a lot of weird ones. Yeah, good luck. All right, so COL, of course, in here on the back to the blue side, of course, in this game. MegaZero on Arthelon. We didn't talk about it much, but that was one of his core champions actually back in the spring qualifiers for Marn.
Yeah,
it's one of the original champions he brought out there. An offensive-oriented build. Also, there's a chance that he buys Trinity Force. It was one of the old mainstays for Aurelia. The item got buffed, cheaper. Phage got a little more interesting. It hastes you up, which allows him to chase around. And by the way, actually, there's a cool interaction with Trinity Force, Elise actually, which is that you can pretty much guarantee a Blade Surge kill because it'll trigger the Trinity Force buff for the double damage, and you'll probably kill off that minion. Then it triggers the minion kill clause for the bonus move speed.
Yeah.
So then you go freaking run at a guy, have the Blade Surge reset and movement speed, and you can go kill someone.
That's why I really like this MegaZero pickup here, specifically because we are on that live patch. It was always a comfort champion for him, and it's really in the same theme as all of his other comfort champions, like the Riven and Renekton, the Brawly top laners. Loves to go 1v1. It would be I'm definitely looking forward to a Trinity Force pickup from him very early, but I feel like you may be a little biased, and you're probably you might be leading me down the wrong path here.
Not biased at all. This is obviously the item he's going to go for. By the way, MegaZero reconnecting to the game real quick. We had a quick pause at the start of this game, so you're seeing TBD on your screens right here, and they look very, very composed. Right? They're sort of focused, like, okay, guys, we know we need to take this game down. There's Westrice on your screen, and they're like, all right, guys, game 3, like, we need to be able to do this. Because think about it, like, if you're not able to hold up against the challenger teams who are sort of predicted to be the teams who still have room to grow, still have to improve, if you can't beat a team that was eliminated from the LCS, how do you hope to get into it? Like, even though TBD have the slot in the promotion tournament already, even though they know they'll be facing someone at the end of the year, they've got to be able to say, look, we can beat people now. We can beat the top challengers. We can beat the LCS teams we're going to face. Let's go.
Even if you can beat them now, continuous improvement is so key to all of the teams in Challenger and in the LCS. Anyone playing League of Legends, you can never relax. Even after you finish, first in your split or first even at PAX here.
Yeah.
You constantly have to be looking inward and for new ways to improve. That's how you stay on top.
Exactly. Look at TSM. They won the spring split. They were commanding at the very end of that and the first half of the year. And then third place finish, still in the top 4, looking to surge back up, but you always have a new challenger there. Yeah, it's going to be MegaZero trying to surge into first place here with this game.
Did you mean to do that?
No, but I'm glad you brought it out because now I can use this throughout the game, like 7 times, and people will get tired of it. TBD on the red side, pushing out much less aggressively this time, actually. Just a ward over the wall by Nydus on the right-hand side, then otherwise just playing it a little bit safe with his team. I want to see what these guys go with.
Elise is very handy to have in these early game sort of vision wars, both because of that volatile spider that she can send in whatever direction she chooses, but also because of the spiderlings that come down when you turn into spider form. Not sure if people are tired of hearing about that one, but you can turn into a spider next to the wall, and your little spiders will go around the other side for you.
It's always nice and useful there. So minions have spawned and no one has gone for any major invades. In fact, less deep wards in general. There's one ward on the blue buff of compLexity, but that's the limit of the aggressive wards for TBD. They're much more afraid of the level 1 here. compLexity walking by a ward and going for an aggressive play here on the TBD blue buff, forcing an adaptation, forcing TBD to go to compLexity's blue buff.
Speaking of who's going aggressive, though, we often will see Kha'Zix pick up a red elixir start, much like Zed for the early aggression. And Kha'Zix, if he starts out with the Q, then the red elixir ties into that and it plays, because as soon as you pop it, your opponent will have to back off from the minion wave, which allows you to get isolation damage. But Westrice has gone the more economical route here, and he'll have that Doran shield for the regen. So he's just looking to farm up in the early game here and not overextend and not put himself into a compromising position until he can get the power from those items that Kha'Zix needs towards the mid game.
And speaking of aggressive, though, Lautemortis also went for the early Doran's Blade. So instead of going for the Hunter's Machete like we see a lot of jugglers do, he's going maybe some early ganks here on this Elise. I want to see how that pans out as well.
It's another very economical choice.
Great hook on
the misplay!
Oh, unfortunate right there. So not quite going to get any more damage on that dual lane right here, but probably taking a bunch of damage. Those plants from Arthelon doing some pain right here. Probably actually still his E on cooldown, not yet able to do any damage in this lane.
The top lane is definitely in the farm mode for both of these guys too. Because they both started the Doran shields, you take basically as much damage from auto attacks from minions at this point, this early on, as you would from auto attacks from your enemy. So it's not worth your time to go for those harass trades, and they're both just going to farm up for the beginning of that. Really, the only change is going to come from jungle pressure, but because there was that nice ward here for Westrice, he's going to be aware of this gank from Lautemortis, and a nice little sidestep is all that it takes.
And good dodge goes in for the pressure as well. Westrice doing a good
Said,
chunk
don't come back
damage.
to my lane, Lautemortis.
Seriously. Both Spiderlings fall over as well. The turret helping him out with that one. Probably, though, pushed to his turret very quickly by Arthelon. And we see this lane, oddly enough, unless a lot of
going for the dive.
Oh, they get the stun onto Westrice. Lautemortis getting low, has to repel back up. Do they have the damage they need? MegaZero taking it up for now. Flashes back in, but the turret aggro dodging. Lautemortis picks up first blood, and MegaZero had turret aggro long enough to not have it switch over to Lautemortis.
Spaced that one out perfectly. Beautifully coordinated dive from compLexity. The first blood plus a giant minion wave. They timed that with this huge amount of experience and gold that Westrice is going to miss to the turret. So not only does he give up the first blood money to that Elise, but he also loses out on so much from the top turret.
That Doran's Blade start paying itself off. And in the mid lane, we missed part of the action, but probably forced the flash and ignite out of Arthelon, then was forced to flash away from a counter gank by heavenTime. So both mid laners without summoners. And unless a lot of those minion kills from probably are plants, he's winning his lane despite seeing him getting pushed around by those plants.
Yeah, that's very deceptive whenever there are some extra plants put down. They count as minions, but they only give you like 5. What is it, 5?
Yorks gives 0, which is even more deceptive. It's just mean. We go Chuuper last hitting with the rocket jump. Nice play right there.
Yeah, the bottom lane,
most of these.
It's going as expected. Early on, Caitlyn able to bully Tristana quite easily. Even though he's down 10 CS, can't be too hard on Chuuper.
Doing what he can, of course. The Nami Kate lane so crazy for poke as well. We got MegaZero though back to his lane now. Picked up a Ruby Crystal with his first back, but Westrice actually has gone for a Doran's Blade, so some aggression coming out now from Westrice, adding the extra Doran's Bling to himself. He's going to move on forward. MegaZero going back into the trade with Westrice, but has a big minion wave hitting him. Just chugging through that flask regen as well. That's actually the other item that Mega had picked up. There's some extra regen here to survive Westrice. Stun's going to land on Nydus. This could be pretty good damage from Lautemortis. Hook comes in from MeyeA. Is it going to be enough damage? The explosive shot goes by as well. MeyeA gets in the brush in time to not die. Amazing escape right there. That was close.
Now, the other thing about this bottom lane matchup, whenever you're up against the Nami or a Thresh, you want to be the one in control of the side lane bush vision. because compLexity are the ones that had cleared that out, and they had wards in both of these bushes, you know, Robert didn't have vision for that last shot, but also it allowed them to set up those skill shots that are just so much easier from hitting from Frog of War.
Incredible play right there. Good things. Cannon Minion goes down to the mid lane as well. And Probably still 33-31. This matchup still very close, but I expect it to be fairly explosive. Lautemortis waiting around in the fog. Goes now, reveals himself to Arthelon. Repel gets forward. Could this be enough damage? Probably ults himself. The stun coming off onto Arthelon. Lautemortis doing some damage, but Probably zoned away by the plants. Lautemortis not diving this one as well. Will jump away from the turret, and that's going to be no deaths.
Fairly even trade as far as damage is concerned right there, too. So Arthelon doing very well for himself. Meanwhile, Westrice has decided to shove the lane into MegaZero's turret. Aurelia being the first to hit level 6, plus that extra assist money, it's going to mean that Westrice has to be extremely careful at the next time he returns to lane.
It's going to be a danger here. Probably getting forced back. No ulti available for him. Arthelon's still plenty of mana, whereas Probably's running out. This could be a risky thing. The root's going to land on a Probly, but not enough follow-up damage here. Just going to be the minion swept away. But that's going to be the compLexity mid laner forced back out of this lane, I'm pretty sure. As Chuuper and MeyeA still try to hold on to this lane.
Are they making the call for Dragon here? It looks like we have a rotation up.
Well, that's smart. Though heavenTime is not level 6, they forced the mid laner out, and Chuuper and MeyeA are still dealing with a minion wave right here. MeyeA coming back around does have actually a ward, seeing that TBD is starting this, but looks like the numbers are in the red side's favor.
Not a level 6 Nasus, and they called for the Dragon already. He's only level 5.
Lautemortis has to go up, gets Rita, goes back. Over.
Oh,
that was a nice play, but unfortunately will still go. And actually, they've just pulled him off a Dragon. Dragon did too much damage. TBD doesn't get it.
That was
really nice.
Not just some sleight of hand right there from compLexity. They also got what they wanted accomplished. That was the successful Dragon delay. Even though you're right, they were down one man because of the mid laner being forced back. Just a beautiful little combo right there.
That was incredibly nice. I like that play a lot. So Probably now clearing away the mid lane. He's still actually doing a great job. 50-43. The top lane's still brawling, but MegaZero has built a 15 minion kill lead. That 1v1 that these players seek so much has gone well for Mega. 63-42 now, getting farther ahead. Mega's crushing this lane.
Yeah, it wasn't really a fair fight, though, because of the early visit from Lautemortis.
Okay, so the 2v1 that compLexity really wanted, and the 1v2 that Westrice is hoping to avoid, still showing up. And MegaZero, just saying, he built a Phage.
Oh, that's just for you, Freak. It's getting you excited.
My homie. We played on a team together back in beta. He doesn't even want to win the game. He's just giving me a shout-out. There's clearly no other reason for this.
So that means we will get to see the new Phage in action, the speed boost to help out Aurelia instead of the chance of slows.
It'll be a fun little build right here. Of course, heavenTime, though, looking for a counter gank, expecting, well, maybe just a regular gank, expecting MegaZero to be aggressive. That does not happen here. Arthelon pushing down the minions still. And probably interesting skill build, by the way. 3 points in his E for the extra splash damage, but now 2 actually in the Reckoning. So putting some slow in there, levels up, and puts another into the Righteous Fury. So just wanted 2 points in the slow, and then is maxing E. Chuuper in a bit of a trade there. Robert taking some damage, but looks like he's still doing fine.
And it looks like Arthelon, already with that dagger, is going to go for the more sustained KO damage build instead of the bursty Lichbane Death Cap combo.
Yeah, it's what we see, I think, most frequently, I suppose. It was actually the build as well that Vile Rose would do, which was Nashor's Tooth into Lichbane. I want to see what the second item ends up being here for Probably. Because certainly Double Doran's Ring makes you say, yeah, definitely an AP KO. I don't think we've seen AD KO in quite a while, since the end of Season 2 when Dyrus would run that.
The KO top lane has really not happened in a very long time, right?
I think Kiwi played it in the very first week of the LCS and lost to Dyrus' Renekton. And that was the last time I really saw KO top, that I can remember at least.
He had enough of that one. Another ping, though, now for TBD. This time, we have a post-6 Nasus. Looks like they're not ready to pull the trigger, though, because Lautemortis already rotated down, and they assumed because Lautemortis was rotating down that they had vision, when in fact, they do not.
Interesting setup. Yeah, neither team actually with vision wards at all, so they don't even know about the ward status on either side here, unless they can infer from movement. So it's still a top lane fight. I was wondering to see if Westrice would come back down to help with the dragon fight, but he's not going to. He's going to stay and fight MegaZero in the top lane as Mega more or less freezes this lane. You can see he's taking his sweet time killing off the minions there, trying to deny as much farm as possible. And there's the flash, the hook. Oh, does not quite land. ROBERTxLEE gets out of that one. Good net away. That could have been a kill.
Yeah, that was with just the 90 caliber net. He did not even blow his flash to escape that one. So huge win there for TBD, and they actually need it because both of their solo lanes are getting crushed right now.
Wow, that gap in the mid lane, you're right, has extended a lot. Westrice going back for that pink ward control. The pull finally does land on Robert, but a little bit too late. There's no Lautemortis this time, but good damage down to 200 HP as ROBERTxLEE. No more follow-up left, but that was a painful thing.
Being forced to recall here means that he'll miss out on one more wave, but it's not going to result in the tower going down. Even though it's already low, they do have reinforcements in the area.
And Arthelon still on this one. So there we go. Yeah, heavenTime hoping to hold this turret up, puts down some of the AoE, so that is still holding on. But compLexity, they're just happy to play the laning phase, as you mentioned.
Dangerous face check.
Does not let the cocoon land so slow, but that's not going to be enough here. It does give some control over that side of the jungle. MeyeA gets the pull. He goes in, the turret goes down, and there's the engage. MeyeA forced to run. The Q lands. heavenTime picks up that kill. That was a little bit too much for these guys, but probably he's going to flash the wall. Goes for Nydus. He's going to fall down to the ignite, and now the push on ROBERTxLEE. Just going to be the 1-for-1 overall. The turret also goes down.
Zyra comes in from the side, and they're chasing.
In the meantime, Westrice beat MegaZero in a duel on the other side of the map. Probably now not in a great place. Has the ultimate. Will he use it? Yes. There's that being pressed down, but he's been knocked up into the air. It's going to be probably falling over. Arthelon takes the kill. Still, the running away by the rest of the compLexity lineup. MeyeA respawns, makes his way over, but Chuuper still forced to run away from this one.
Oh, he
the flash root lands, and Chuuper goes on down. Well played. Good pickup there. TBD now up 4-2.
True to form, they come back into this game from kills. Westrice up top did a great job on MegaZero. Even though there was a CS advantage, he was able to grab the kill and then shore up that CS discrepancy with an extra wave he shoves into the turret.
Lautemortis in a very dangerous situation there. Says, oh, those are 3 enemy champions.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Gets rooted, repels up, but has pretty much nowhere to go.
The lantern!
MeyeA saving Lautemortis for the second time. The power of friendship here for compLexity. Saving 2 kills.
Okay, so let's look at the duel up top here. This is how Westrice pulled it off. He's got minion waves. He's got minions with him right there, and the ignite on Aurelia hurts so much. Even though not able to pull off that ultimate, Westrice with the flash finishes him off. Beautiful play right there. And yeah, MeyeA again. MeyeA saves the day. Lautemortis definitely thanking the power of love and friendship.
And look at Westrice's build. He goes again for the Tiamat here on Kha'Zix. So a lot of area effect damage. Mega will take this turret down though. So compLexity, wow, the mid lane as well. They didn't even lose Dragon. They've gotten now 3 turret kills despite being down. If they get this one, 3 turret kills in exchange for just a 2 champion kill deficit. So compLexity up 2,000 gold despite everything.
Story of this matchup here. TBD getting kills, compLexity answering with objectives. If you get the kill, but take too much damage in the process of getting the kill.
Another hook! Oh, that hook just landed. Arthelon, he's going to go down. No counter engagement. Now Nydus is in a bad spot. The cocoon had landed onto him. This could be the pickup they need. Spirit Fire comes across. Slow from Kale. And goodbye. Double kill for
straggling in here. This is going to be a dragon.
That was absolutely awesome by compLexity. 4-4 in kills. And now, yes, they've stopped Dragon twice. They finally get this one for themselves. Incredible plays, good catches. MeyeA making that one happen.
MeyeA's got the saves as well as the catches for his team. And again, what I was just about to say, if you take... let's take a look at the replay first. That's just a beautiful hook. Look, right around the plant. Barely around the plant. Threading the needle and going in for the combo. Nydus tries to go save here, but then a sly cocoon out of the side of Lautemortis snags him up for a double.
Incredibly well-played matchup right here, and that's going to be the red buff taken over by Chuuper at only 15 minutes in, so an early donate of that red buff, earlier than we typically see from AD carries. Westrice being left alone on the top limit, has to leave. You can see MegaZero already making his way back over there, sweeping out the minions pretty successfully. He's got the Sheen as well, Kobe. I'm not getting tricked this time. They're actually going for it. Last time he trolled me.
He convinced me. I like the speech about the speed buff now and the super blade surges.
Yeah, you're right. It's awesome. It's the best item in the game. Even Caitlyn should buy one. Maybe not. Arthelon, though, putting down some more plants, sweeping away the mid lane minions. But you notice that, you're right, you talk about the solo laners. There it is. It's done. All right, we're good. All right, moving on. But you talk about the solo laners having a really rough time for TBD. Despite that kill from Westrice, he still lost his turret. He's still down now 20 minions on MegaZero. Arthelon, down almost 30 here against Prolly, on top of the fact that that Prolly is 3-1 right here. So that's been a really rough spot. The lane that's been winning was that duo lane. Right? ROBERTxLEE up 24 minions against Chuuper. In fact, has a completed item, whereas Chuuper does not just yet. But he's being held up by his team so far. And Chuuper's going for the Infinity Edge. And he's got a late game skilling champion on Tristana. I feel like the solo lane advantages are already in effect for compLexity. Duo lane's going to stop mattering pretty soon. And
compLexity have done a great job. As the Wither goes on to MegaZero here, they are going to jump. Catch.
Oh, this is not good. MegaZero not in a good place. Down he goes. Well played right here by heavenTime and Westrice.
By the way, Westrice at that level 11 had upgraded his leap, so he can reset now. He's got the Q and the E ready for those resetting team fights.
There we go. The ult coming out from NydusHerMain, trying to push back compLexity. Lautemortis in the front lines, getting hit a little bit. This is a more tank-oriented build for the Elise, of course. Had gone for the Spirit of the Ancient Golem and building towards what I'm guessing might be an Aegis next with that Ruby Crystal. Chuuper getting hit up a little bit, but probably helping the push come around on the right-hand side of the map, and this turret's going to start taking some damage. He's at full health right now, but here comes the gank from heavenTime. This could be bad. Probably getting slowed down. Can they turn this around? This is not good. Probably forced to flash. Still has the ultimate. There's the KO ulti. Chuuper's going to block that for him, though. heavenTime's still on the chase. The rest of the team coming down. You've got Arthelon coming down the river. Wither comes across onto Prolly. He's still forced to run back from this one. Lands the slow into heavenTime. The damage going to come out from Caitlyn, and Prolly forced to intervention. Now has not many places to go. Lantern from MeyeA. Making another save, but Chuuper, no, Chuuper!
I missed!
He dodges the root, the plant damage comes out, but he barriers and gets out, unless Arthelon can flash Q. He has flash, there's the Q, he gets it!
So missing the root means Arthelon doesn't have to spend his flash, but he still got it, so it was worth it. And I really loved the play from Prolly. He didn't blow the intervention just to block damage from Ace in the Hole, because it wasn't going to kill either him or Chuuper. Wow, the dive onto Westrice.
He's been stunned, has one more slow application. There we go. Now it's going to be him getting dove. He's got nowhere to go. Lautemortis is going to take aggro this time. There's the repel. No. And wow, the healing comes out, but it's going to be picked up. MegaZero forced to run around this one. The bottom turret, of course, did go down. And now heavenTime dodging both skill shots here. Lautemortis up in the front. There's Prolly as well. Ults early on to not get bursted out. There's the knockout some damage. Prolly at 400 HP. Arthelon's still around. That's a little aggressive right there, but here comes Nydus. Lands a one-man stun. MegaZero's going to go down and pay for this one. That's picked up by Nami, but Nydus goes down as well. That is a really good fight for compLexity.
Little trigger happy there. Arthelon running into the whole team. Earlier, though, I really still want to talk about that move from Prolly saving his intervention. Not just to block damage, but he used it for the intimidation. When he put that intervention on, immediately Robert, as well as heavenTime, backed off from him, even though there wasn't a threat of him killing them.
Yeah.
But it bought the time for MeyeA to get into position for yet another Lantern Seal. So really, it was just the psychological effect of the intervention rather than the actual damage blocking that was able to save him.
Yeah, it worked, but you saw it actually forced Robert to run back.
Yeah.
When Prolly ulted, he
didn't force him.
Yeah. Well, he went for the Q and the E, and Robert was like, all right, yeah, I'm going to wait for you. And that just, it bought the time. It was really, really, really nicely done. So here's compLexity regrouping towards the mid lane. They've still got only those 3 turret kills. They haven't found another one in a little while, but they've turned the kills back in their favor. It was 2-4 not that long ago. It was now 8-7 in compLexity's favor. Turret kills have not changed since then. Dragon coming back up soon. compLexity, the team with more gold, might be the team that holds for it.
TBD at least do have a lot of gold focused on Westrice, and since he's got a Tiamat, he's actually a strong split pusher now, even with the changes to the void spikes of Kha'Zix. He kind of makes that up with itemizing towards area of effect with that Tiamat, and he's already a strong duelist. So they can turtle with their Nasus Zyra combo, amazing wave clear and amazing counter engage, and put more of their eggs into that Westrice basket.
Now it's going to have to be Westrice hatching a lot of those eggs here as his insect, because they're not having a very good start to this game. The hook does not land on a Westrice either. He is still safe. Both teams with pink wards there. Oh, they can't see each other. The trees are in the way. That one tree holding him up. MegaZero gritting the red buff for this one. Smited up by Lautemortis, and the last hit coming through from Mega. That is a good steal, putting more control over here. ROBERTxLEE, 176 minions, has a Zeal built up as well. Has technically more items than Chuuper, but it's a pretty short-lived advantage here. compLexity still in control.
TBD have to make the choice now if they want to play the 4 versus 1. It looks like they do.
MeyeA taking a bit of damage, puts down the Lantern onto himself. The knockup does land, though. Now heavenTime slowed up, forced to ulti himself.
Chuuper's not there, so if TBD can chase him down.
This could be rough. There's the slow onto Lautemortis. The tidal wave hitting. Probably got nowhere to go as well. Has to ult himself at some point. Doesn't even use it, though, and goes down. Stun on a NydusHerMain. This is not the ideal situation now for compLexity. TBD pushing in for the turret.
Now they get to choose. They can get the turret and then go for Dragon. Chuuper this whole time has been just split pushing that bottom lane, or they can go for 2 turrets and leave Westrice up top.
Well, they get the pull and the stun on Arthelon, but no CC lands on the other side. heavenTime down a half HP. They've got to push the minion wave in, though, if they want to get another turret here. MegaZero still on the split push, holding Westrice up, but looks like TBD still pushing the bottom side. Lautemortis gets caught up, takes a Lantern back, though, but now here comes the press onto this turret. The Bloodthirster Caitlyn doing more damage to a turret than an Infinity Edge one would. There's the pressure onto the Arthelon now. Pops the ulti as well. Chuuper knocked in the air, but Chuuper gets the kill just at the last second, and they're going to maybe even save the turret.
Buff.
Yeah, double buff Chuuper still chasing NydusHerMain. Oh my god, the crit's so much damage. The bubble. Oh, nice move by Chuuper. He rocket jumps through the bubble. The cast time allows him to still cast it through. That MegaZero landing a slow on a heavenTime. Getting chased down. Lantern comes across, but they're not even done. Chuuper's going to push forward. Wow. Really well put by compLexity, picking up 2 kills out of that one.
Yeah, NydusHerMain was just bleeding that entire time. Not even a feint from Robert to try and threaten Chuuper to make him back off, but a great job by Chuuper making use of that double buff. With that pick, they can rotate over to Dragon, and that massive ward control that they have paying off right now. Even though the pings are coming down, it's going to be very, very late for TBD.
And no one's nearby, and MegaZero's going to make this one with the tank, and that's going to be Baron Nashor going down at 22 minutes. 10 to 8 in kills, 3 to 2 in turrets. compLexity in a big lead now in this game 3.
Now it's going to be really hard for even Westrice to split push. There's so much power focused on compLexity right now with the Baron buff on top of the gold lead.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have to turtle.
Yeah, they have to. And MegaZero starting to go tanky, though, is the thing. Lautemortis has that locket now completed. MegaZero adding the Warden's Mail, going for probably Randuin's Omen off of that one. Seems more likely than Frozen Heart here. And so suddenly compLexity has pretty much got the ability to dive turrets if they want to. I mean, they've got Kayle intervention as well. They don't even need tanks to make that happen. In addition to the fact that Chuuper now is outranging ROBERTxLEE. He's got more range now. As the AD carries, so he can start taking turrets down. The Dragon, of course, controlled as well. compLexity surprisingly holding 2 of 2 dragons because of those MeyeA and Lautemortis plays to stop them earlier on.
Chuuper's taking double golems right now, though, so it's going to be a little bit. He'll actually just recall, so they're not even pressing it with this Baron buff right now.
They're sweeping up waves right now. You're right that they're not going too hard for this one. They still only have those 3 outer turrets, but it looks like these guys are kind of grouping up and saying, no, we're going to get it all the way up to your turrets and pick our battle from there. MegaZero still on that split push, 197 minions on him. The compLexity still are not quite finding the picks. They've removed most of the ward control of TBD. They've not got themselves in yet.
MegaZero is definitely going to be the point man for the dive. So if they do it, they're going to want to wait for him to get here. Even though they do have intervention, they still want him to be the one taking it.
MegaZero, though, down to half HP, forced to run back from this one. Wither lands and has timed out now. Good ulti there, stops the damage onto MegaZero. Probably now without the intervention. Box comes down from MeyeA to help the team run away. heavenTime's going to tank up one of those walls. Arthelon's going to move forward. Does not land the root, though. And here's the rest of compLexity. Arthelon falls over. Chuuper has the reset and rocket jump. He's not going to use that, though. Lautemortis jumping forward. No Cocoon going to come out from him. There's the attempt. Only lands onto a minion.
TBD were really looking to take advantage of the intervention being down with so much damage from the side there. Chuuper with the Infinity Edge already, really just dishing out too much.
Incredible damage up now by these guys. The late game has definitely arrived for Team compLexity, and Chuuper especially. He looked for that turret but realized, we don't have the ward coverage, we might get ganked, so they run away. MegaZero, though, on the split push, going to take down the 4th turret finally here for compLexity.
Also, we do have a Sheen picked up for Prawley too, so now he's going for that extra little bit of burst.
And then Lichbane, yeah, it's going to be both a lot of persistent damage and the burst. It's hard to deal with. It's been the popular build for Kayle here for what I've seen at least recently in North America. Westrice trying to play the defense game here with his Void Spikes and whatnot. Does not have his final evolution just yet. Usually they spend it on the ulti, though. Chuuper takes down the turret, takes the Lantern back to MeyeA, and that's more coverage now. compLexity getting farther and farther into the TBD base. They've gotten 2 turrets on this Baron buff so far and still have a minute left.
Yeah, TBD, they really they need like 2 more withers is what they need, because heavenTime really wants to be able to wither Aurelia, COL, and Tristana, but he's only going to be able to choose 1 target. Unless they figure out some very interesting bug we don't know about.
That AoE wither. That'd be a little scary. Oh, did you get Frozen Heart?
All right, so compLexity, they've already shown time and again that this is how they finish out games. They are not one to rush anything. They want to take it slow, take everything outside of the base before they try and go into the inhibitor turrets.
And they've done that. They got 3 turrets now for the Baron. That's what they were given, and I believe like 1 or 2 picks in the middle of that one as well. So compLexity sitting here at almost 10,000 gold now in the lead. They're about 33% over TBD. That's a pretty good margin here. And you can see that it's the TBD determined squad just trying to remove minion waves, try to scale up their champions, and try to catch up here. And to their credit, ROBERTxLEE is still actually above Chuuper in minion farm. They've kept that going the entire way through. But as we said at the very beginning, these solo lanes kept going compLexity's way, and it's still the case here. You've got MegaZero getting even more massive, actually looking towards Blade of the Ruin King now. Actually stopped at Ward's Mail, still offensive based. The Lich Bane now done for Probably and getting some Magicus now, so he's harder to kill. The Infinity Edge and Static Shiv now done for Chuuper. These guys are scaling up so well.
That's the game that they like to play. They like to have a massive item advantage before they finally go in for those dives, even with intervention. So whoever's going to be taking that turret is going to have immunity, and they still want to just have such a huge lead in items that there's no chance for TBD to turn it around. So we already seen that TBD can easily snowball off a few kills. It's really the difference in the overall styles of both these teams. compLexity extremely methodical and consistent, whereas TBD are assassin-based, so they're inherently always looking for picks, and they're a little bit more chancy, but they also snowball much quicker, and they're much more flashy in their games that they do win.
Yeah, they are indeed. So compLexity, though, playing the reserve game a little bit, but finds the hook onto Westrice, and that's going to be the kill picked up. MeyeA with the Oracles has not allowed the Stealth to do anything, and there's one way in. Lautemortis grouping up with Chuuper. They might find more.
Even with a man down, they're still split pushing 2 different lanes here. MegaZero up in the top by himself. They've actually focused onto the mid.
A little bit of damage there onto that turret. 1 shot in from Probably. I'm sure the Lich Bane do a bit more.
It's so hard to breach through a NashorZyra defending, not only because the Spiritfire clear waves, but he can also land that Wither to stop your turret damage.
But just as you say, Nasus and Zyra are only 2 champions, and there are 3 waves here. The bottom lane inhibitor turret goes down. Here's the pressure a little bit onto heavenTime, but mid lane turret will hold. But now 1 inhibitor is open for compLexity to kill. The way into the base is here. Chuuper pushing some damage in, getting pushed back, but those openings are there.
I do like that tri-lane split push there against such strong wave clear there. They just don't have enough champions, all right, especially with Westrice being down. No answer here. Chuuper almost done with this inhibitor.
Wow, and again, we look at the fact that TBD hasn't really picked a lot of hard engage. They've got Nami for the tidal wave, kind of, but they can't catch those guys who are kind of alone split pushing.
Yeah, it's all counter engage and just zone control. They really needed to make use of their last stand at the turrets, but being down Westrice means they have no finisher.
And there we go. Inhibitor falls over, and the minions going to start making their way in, making life even harder for these guys. Dragon and Baron both have respawned as well, and so now I want to see, does compLexity try to close it out with the base, or do they take the neutral objectives and go in?
This is compLexity. There's stuff outside the base to take now. Going for that Baron. This actually has not been prepped with their usual amount of wards, so it may be a little bit before they actually do go for this. MeyeA wants to make sure that he's got complete control over this lizard side jungle.
Doing a pretty good job of that one. Has the one in the brush still, but it's going to time out fairly soon. The rest of compLexity going to recall back and say, look, we need to restock our Sightstone wards. Let's buy up some items. These guys have 4 to 1,300 gold in each one of them. Probably could get a Quicksilver Sash if you wanted to. I don't know what it's actually going to go for, but could buy a Quicksilver Sash if you wanted to at this point. Grab the blue buff as well, so we'll have max cooldown reduction. compLexity saying, all right, we'll buy up, we'll take Baron, then we'll kill your base.
It's sort of calming watching compLexity games when they're ahead. They don't really like to get hyped up, hypey as the Curse members would say. They definitely like to take their time, enjoy their wins.
Oh yeah,
they like to stop,
leisurely.
Look at the flowers on the way, Now that they do have it prepped, though, MeyeA laying down his normal wards to secure the Baron perimeter, and they go for the hook on heavenTime.
He's going to stun him down. He puts the lantern over the wall. He's going to pull a friend in, and here comes Lautemortis. This could be an incredible fight here. MegaZero flashing over. Headwave comes back, hits onto 2 right there. MeyeA low on health, and that will not be the intervention used. They don't want to keep him alive. Westrice going to jump in. He finds another kill as well. Chuuper out-leaped there by Kha'Zix, now forced to run away. MegaZero going to run some interference. 2 for 1. In favor of TBD, but compLexity wears Baron.
That was a really good job of Westrice holding on to his jump until Chuuper used his. Nydus now gets caught in a beautiful dodge.
All right, MegaZero still trying to chase on down. The slow going to end. Still pushing a little bit forward, but won't find any other openings. A little bit of armor on this MegaZero, but now, where's the push going to go for it? It's still the 3v4, but compLexity looks to play aggressive with this.
I like how Robert has gone with the static shiv this time on Caitlyn too, just to help out with even more wave clear for the team.
Yeah, exactly. There's just they're doing an incredible job of holding onto their base for the most part. There's a couple of openings keep getting made by compLexity. They take down the Dragon as well. So on net, they got Dragon, they got Baron. They only went down 1 kill. Despite that being a pretty good fight for TBD, you see that they can win a
exactly.
fight. But compLexity's getting farther ahead.
This validates compLexity's slow approach to this game. Still, to their credit, even being down over 10k gold, come out with more kills in the team fights.
So here we go. compLexity, they've respawned. They're wearing 3 Baron buffs. Everyone has filled out their item slots. Even MeyeA bought a health potion just so he could match the rest of his team and say, no, I've got 6 items too, guys. We're good. We got this. And now comes in what could be the closing push here for compLexity. They're stronger, but we've seen TBD turn fights around. There's always the chance. See if compLexity can avenge themselves.
There's already another answer here, too, for Westrice. A GA bot on COL means probably doesn't have to worry about himself being the first target for Westrice reset, and he can save his intervention for whoever else it is. As long as they're able to just stop that chain, they really don't have to worry about the 5 versus 5 situation.
And of course, you're seeing even more of those items come through. Chuuper has started on a chain vest as well, so he's looking at Guardian Angel to give another target that doesn't need intervention as this game goes on. The push into the mid lane. Minions actually getting swept out by ROBERTxLEE. MegaZero keeps the top lane shoved as well. Baron buff, not a ton of time left onto it. Of course, that bottom lane inhibitor still dead. Minions still flooding into the base. The mid lane turret down to half. There's progress being made by compLexity, but they're still going slow and steady here.
The paint is drying, and it's chipping now. A few more shots, and that thing will crumble down.
And be less pretty. And the paint is gone. It's just ugly and gray and made of stone. And I don't know. I like prettier turrets. So the push coming through. compLexity. Minions are falling. Triple caster minions not strong enough to hold on.
Probably not being with the other 4 means it doesn't look like they're going for that tower dive right now, and they really do just want to get those few shots from Chuuper in with every wave.
Oh my gosh! NydusHerMain is one hit from dead, bleeding his little fish blood right here. And the turret's going to go down. Inhibitor's going to be open. heavenTime jumps on. He's going to fall down. The box comes across. MeyeA not going to get intervention, probably saving it for himself anyway. And now the chase is still going to continue. 4-4 in this fight. Chasing onto Westrice. MegaZero forced back. Westrice flashing away as well. But the inhibitor's open. Chuuper's hitting that one right now, doing some good damage, and that falls down. Now, 2 inhibs dead. Minions into the base. Chuuper, no! Probably had already burned his intervention, of course, and that's going to be another team fight. Technically won by TBD, but before the base falls over.
Plants MVP right here.
Yeah.
All right, so Chuuper not expecting the sneaky wild growth there. Does go down, but that's only going to delay this game a bit longer. 2 doors being open, 2 inhibitors that they can freely force team fights at. It's exactly what compLexity are looking for here.
You got the front door open, you got the side door open. You don't have to backdoor it, but you do have 2 inhibitors going down. Well, actually, the second one is respawn, so now only the front door open. ROBERTxLEE going to recall back to his base, keep going up for the items. He does have the Last Whisper done now, and you notice the difference in builds now. Chuuper saying, look, the only way I can die, or the only way I can lose if I die, so I go for Guardian Angel. But ROBERTxLEE knows he still needs to build damage. He's still going towards that Infinity Edge. BF Sword picked up there saying, no, I really just need to kill people. He's 0-4. GA wouldn't even help him this game.
That's another target that will not give resets as well. So Westrice is going to be looking for, MeyeA, or Lautemortis already has a repel, so he can definitely delay that one at least. And MegaZero is just so beefy right now. Hard target for anybody. To be fair, he did build 2 damage items, so he could even be more tanky.
Yeah, he chose to go for the offense build instead, which is pretty typical of MegaZero. This is the guy who built Tiamat first on a Renekton before Sunfire. So damage goal for all these guys. The kills only 2 apart, keep in mind. That compLexity are winning because of their objective-based gameplay. 2 minutes until Baron and Dragon respawn. I wonder if they're going to wait the 2 minutes for this one. Westrice baiting out in the front line. The rest of the team lurking around. It spots Nydus. There's the ulti. It's going to hit Chuuper. Will they get the chase on down? The bubble's going to land on Lautemortis. He does get a little bit slow, but not going to go down. He engaged the gambit. Doesn't work here.
Now it's going to be real rough for them. They don't have the ultimate available from Nami.
That's
they
one
don't
less
have
tool.
any turrets either, so it's...
No. I can't see them actually defending this inhibitor successfully just with the gold lead, but you never know. Robert puts some poke down. He's doing what he can, but of course they're still sustained. You've got a Kale with low cooldowns and decent mana to spare, who can just put out a little bit of healing back across. Chuuper wearing a red elixir and Guardian Angel. Putting some poke down. No bubble lands here. MegaZero tanking away the traps as well. And there's the inhibitor starting to take damage. Chuuper withered but doesn't care. Inhib down to half HP. Still no engage from TBD. And look at that. They're going to let that inhibitor go on down. Chuuper using his range to make the inhibitor fall. Probably helping that one as well. 45 seconds until the neutral buffs if these guys want to go for it. But it's still the front door being knocked on compLexity.
Don't even say that.
Still moving for. Hey, I mean, it's compLexity.
It's true, it's true. They could easily go for it, but it looks like they're going to go with these dual super
Chuuper
minion
gets
waves.
rooted. That's not a good place. Gets intervention, though. He's not going to fall down right away. There's one kill picked up. The jump back forward. Chuuper using his Guardian Angel. Make sure the item goes on a cooldown. But this is not the good place for him. It might be a kill. No, a great hook. Double kill for MegaZero. Chuuper does fall down thanks to ROBERTxLEE. He's actually got a double kill here. 16-14. The fight still goes equal. TBD still go 2 for 2 with this one. Lose an inhibitor again, but they're holding on with kills. Staying 10,000 gold back. Dragon and Baron coming back up. The 2 red buffs and a blue buff alive as well. There's a lot for compLexity to take.
They also got the Guardian Angel off of Chuuper, which is one of the highest priority targets for compLexity. So TBD still with that small sliver of hope.
And there's a little bit of ward control, though, for compLexity. The hook's going to go off, and it's the dive in. They're going to find Arthelon. He's going to fall down first. Will they keep on moving forward? MegaZero looks for more. 1 for 1 in this battle so far. ROBERTxLEE and heavenTime doing good damage, actually. Robert forcing the enemies back. Another 1 for 1 battle is a flash wither onto Prolly. He's got very little health. One shot from Robert, and he goes
can get his
down.
GA and his life.
Uh-oh, this could be rough. The Nami ult comes by, giving some movement speed. The bubble's not going to land either. Prolly's going to go down.
Prolly is a seasoned surfer. That's exactly what you want to do when you're going out to meet the waves. You dive under it.
Yes.
Instead of going face long.
But with Kale with the wings, it's so hard to go underneath the waves. I feel like if you get them wet, you wouldn't be able to fly anymore.
We do have to recap, though, because that's both GAs down for TBD. They could still do it.
They definitely could. And you can see the gold lead actually tightens back down to 10,000. It was 10,000 gold when TBD had 33,000 gold. That was the lead. We've gotten basically twice as far into the game, and it's still only that 10,000 gold lead here. So you're seeing TBD just stay that same level, and 10k gold means less and less and less as the game goes on. And so you're seeing them just hold on. Another inhibitor respawns. The mid lane's back open. Of course, the minion waves keep TBD from pushing neutrals down. So you're seeing Dragon and Baron go down for compLexity. But TBD holds on to the base still.
My hopes are on Westrice for the spectacular comeback here for TBD then.
He's built a pretty hefty damage build there. He's got Last Whisper and Brutalizer done. The Ravenous Hydra, of course, giving him some extra burst as well as wave clear in a fight. See if that can pan out as well. Ulti coming across to MeyeA. But the ward control actually starting to equal out a little bit as well. You're seeing Nydus do a pretty good job of keeping ward coverage. He puts one down on Baron. He's actually got coverage of his side of the jungle on the other side of Baron. There's a couple of options here for these guys.
Westrice taking blue buff means that he's going to be delayed getting over to this Baron. This is a 4 versus 5.
And heavenTime taking a lot of pain as well. Dropped to 1/3. And the ulti also burned by Zyra as well as by the Nasus. So now compLexity with a cooldown advantage. And they go back in for Baron.
They're all grouped up inside the Baron pit, but the AoE from Zyra is not going to be able to answer. So this is just poke from TBD. Another Baron here for compLexity.
Good smite there by Lautemortis. There was no flash available for heavenTime, but that could have been a chance plant steal for TBD that did not happen. heavenTime was even in base.
With the confidence of another purple, they're going to be able to force a fight at this exposed inhibitor, or be able to take that one for free and go for those final Nexus turrets.
Maybe even the top lane. Just get another turret kill.
Collect them all.
Collect them all. I mean, they've already picked up 4 inhibitor kills. Why not make it 6? And here we go. The mid lane. Tries being eaten by MeyeA. Another battle going to start. No bubble lands. Damage on heavenTime. Gets cocooned as well. He's down to about half HP. Plants coming across. There's the hook onto the tank. He's not still the primary target. The wave's going to come across. Does not hit many people at all. Damage off onto ROBERTxLEE. Gets him down to half. The jump away from Westrice. Trying to put damage on the Chuuper.
And barrier.
Wow, a lot of cooldowns then burn, but Westrice has lost his flash now with this one. And as well as his ultimate. Lautemortis down to half HP. Forced to jump away. The Zyra will also burn now. A lot of cooldowns left on all sides. Only the box actually available for compLexity. Only the Nasus and Kate ultimates here for TBD. The push goes back in. Trap's getting eaten. Another Nexus, inhibitor's going to go down. Stun on a heavenTime. Lautemortis forced to run backwards. Takes the
Dark Passage!
Blocks it. All right. Good job, MeyeA.
So they caught all of the cooldowns out of TBD. Even though nobody went down yet, they were able to get the inhibitor, plus Westrice escapes. Both the ultimate and the flash. So if he commits now for one of those resets, he's going to be a full commitment.
And here we go. heavenTime getting a little bit low. Intervention is back up from cooldown if they want it. heavenTime cocoon back as well. Bubble does not land on anyone. Nydus still in front. Robert putting what damage he can. Bottom inhibitor has respawned now, so it's still only one dead inhibitor inside of TBD's base. Baron buff still has some time still to tick down, giving his team some regen. But Lautemortis is in front. This could be dangerous. Wither comes off on a MegaZero, gets bubbled up. Forced to use intervention. He will survive. NydusHerMain very, very low. heavenTime in the front. And there's a jump in. But Westrice does not pick up the kill. He's been exhausted as well. The damage coming across probably picks up the kill. That's a 1 for nothing so far. The battle's still raging on. Chuuper knocks back the enemy team. 2 kills picked up as Nydus falls as well. Arthelon looks for damage onto MeyeA. Does land the root, but MeyeA still survives. 2 inhibitors have fallen down. It's a 5-on-3 inside of TBD's base. Baron buff still regenning the compLexity lineup.
Even with 2 members down, they're taking it slow and steady still. They want to get every single inhibitor down so there's nothing left of this TBD base.
The dive on in. Arthelon forced to flash back. That would have been a kill for MegaZero. And now all 3 inhibs are down. Minions will help compLexity push on in. The first turret starting to get hit right there. Chuuper does not get rooted in place. Pushes the team back farther and farther. Putting the damage onto that first turret. That's going to go down, but Chuuper at half HP. He's going to jump back into the team fight. ROBERTxLEE forced back. Intervention using the kills Arthelon. What a bait. Jumps right back out and he will survive. Just barely. Lautemortis is low. A kill picked up by heavenTime, but the Nexus turrets are dead. The respawn's coming soon. ROBERTxLEE going to lose. No, actually wins the fight against Tristana, but the Nexus is going to start going down. Probably putting in the damage, and that's going to be it. compLexity moves on to the finals.
All right, the Lautemortis carrying MegaZero for this one.
Yeah.
And they did show Slow and Steady does win the race.
And I gotta just point out how many awesome plays were made by that team. MeyeA just on your screen, Lautemortis right there with a thumbs up. Those guys, I think, this game wouldn't have been like this if it weren't for those 2 stopping 2 dragons in a row. That compLexity was only winning on global gold, on taking objectives down, and staying ahead in money. Those 2 dragon stops, one of them turning into their own dragon pickup, kept that early game in their favor, allowed them to snowball ahead. I think those were some of the earliest building blocks that kept compLexity ahead.
I have to say, if there is a single MVP for me for this compLexity team, it's MeyeA on that support thresh.
Yeah.
He came in time and time again to save every single team member's life that he was close enough, and he also had the engages on the other side with the flash hooks.
Those hooks were incredible. And just to think about the game plan by TBD was, we're assassins, we're going to kill people. We want to take individuals down. And as you said, those thresh saves, the lantern coming across, probably, nope, he's gotten away. Lautemortis getting away multiple times. The narrow escapes were time and again just perfect there. Well timed by MeyeA. Right? Respawning and coming back into the fight even is how he saves probably that one time from across the map. Just every single time in the right place, just at the right time.
And good execution in the in-game, too, for compLexity. Taking it slow, getting everything outside the base, building GAs, going the safe route. Well done.
And you saw, actually, their fight, the one where they dove over the wall and tried to turn that fight in the upper jungle, and lost 2 for 1 because ROBERTxLEE killed everyone. It was like, oh, yeah, we should probably play objectives again. That might be a little bit stronger. All right, well, guys, that's it for us for Game 3, but we're going to send it over to Jat and Riv to break down the compLexity win.
Thank you very much, guys. Great commentary. that game showed that the best of 3 series allows teams to adapt to each other, because the third one obviously being the closest and made teams strive to adapt even harder.
Yeah, I thought even just going back to the very start of that game, compLexity got some of their game 1 magic when they were able to take so many turrets at the start of the game and really just put Arthelon and crew on their heels for the very start of that game with To Be Determined. And even though they almost recovered multiple times and even did kind of pull back, I would say just the overall wave clear and persistent pushing that compLexity put out is what ended up granting them that victory.
And Freak said even a few times, down in gold, down at one point 12,000 or more, and then 10,000, they were slowly winning 2v1 fights, trying to inch their way back in. So they knew they had a chance, but that chance kind of tunneled them in to how compLexity was able to come back as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, they almost pulled back at one point, and then almost because they were, I feel like, a little bit surprised that they were able to pull back, they tried to just run with the bet and keep it on the table and just go for it, but it didn't end up working out for them because they lost a tower dive and eventually gave up a Baron.
And that's the replay we have for you, this tower dive that's going to be on your screen, and heavenTime actually takes 3 shots before this dive, which doesn't allow him to help on the escape where you see Chuuper get these kills.
Yeah, exactly, and it's only a 2,500 gold lead or roundabouts for compLexity right here. And let's just roll this clip at full speed to see how they get a little over anxious. There's some really good plays by compLexity to stay alive. Lautemortis in particular dodges Arthelon's damage when Arthelon goes in and tries to get this kill, gets out of the Stranglethorns, and then it's actually Chuuper who makes a bunch of plays here. And this was something I need to talk about because he jumps at the perfect moment to get over this bubble. If we slow it down as that bubble comes out, we actually get to see he starts the animation before the bubble hits, and that's why he was able to jump in and get the kill on NydusHerMain. That was perfectly timed. If he would have jumped earlier, the bubble actually would have interrupted his jump, but because he started the animation for his jump as the bubble was hitting him, he effectively was going through the air during the duration of the knockup that the bubble would have given him, and it allowed him to finish off the kill. You know, he really stepped up as an AD carry at Chuuper.
He absolutely has. Things like that, the way the cookie crumbles, definitely played on the mind of TBD. And with those plays, with Chuuper diving in, and really we saw at the Nexus, he was kind of focusing out Zyra, then focusing on Nasus. You're like, whoa, what's going on? He got the intervention, and then everything came fail swoop right after that. It was pretty amazing play and coordination that looked like chaos.
Yeah, the end of the game was a little bit chaotic, let's be fair. But that's because compLexity tried so many times to get into the Nexus and actually finish the game. And every time, To Be Determined was winning a fight 2 for 1, 2 for 1. And eventually, compLexity and Chuuper just kind of manned up. He went into what looked like foolish position, but it's because they had COL on their team that they were able to do that, and the intervention came in to save him at the end. And all credit to compLexity. They got a bit of revenge on To Be Determined here, and it's great for them to win this game.
They come out with the win. We've got to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll be joined by compLexity's Prolly and MegaZero. Then it's time for